Libra, Spirit is speaking very directly to you right now. This isn't a whisper or a gentle nudge. It's a strong pull to wake up to something unfolding in your life that you cannot afford to ignore anymore. Spirit shows me an image of a balance scale being tipped, almost as if you've been giving your energy away without realizing the cost. You're being asked to pay close attention to signs, conversations, and subtle shifts around you because they carry messages about what's really happening beneath the surface. Before we move through this urgent reading, let me remind you that if this resonates, I offer personal sessions starting at $9 and an ongoing membership at $99 for deeper spiritual and practical guidance. Now let's dive into what Spirit urgently wants you to see. The first card for you, Libra, is the Seven of Swords. Spirit is warning that there's something hidden in your environment, deception, secrets, or strategies that are not being openly shared. Emotionally, this feels like someone in your life may not be fully honest, whether that's in relationships, at work, or within a group dynamic. Spirit says, your intuition has already picked this up, but you've been doubting yourself. The Seven of Swords urges you to trust those subtle alarms going off inside. Energetically, the Seven of Swords shows that not everything is as it seems. Spirit's urgent warning here is, don't take things at face value. There may be conversations happening behind your back, hidden motives, or even someone trying to downplay or dismiss your worth. Spirit says, don't let this energy catch you off guard. Instead, step into discernment. You are being called to protect your boundaries and see beyond the masks people wear. Psychologically, this card represents the inner fear of betrayal or the tendency to avoid confrontation. Spirit's message is that you may have been ignoring red flags because you don't want to disrupt harmony. But Libra, Spirit says the harmony you're protecting right now isn't real if it's built on illusions. Spirit's warning is, stop minimizing your own intuition in order to keep the peace. Practically, the Seven of Swords calls you to look closer at contracts, commitments, and conversations. Spirit says, double-check details, keep your eyes open, and don't reveal everything about your plans just yet. The urgent warning here is, be strategic. You don't need to fight to protect yourself, but you do need to stay one step ahead by being aware. The second card is the Five of Pentacles. Libra, Spirit says this is the energy of lack, fear, or feeling left out in the cold. Emotionally, this card points to struggles with self-worth or the pain of rejection. Spirit's warning here is, don't mistake temporary hardship for permanent reality. You may be in a season where support feels scarce, but Spirit says, this is not forever. Energetically, the Five of Pentacles shows heaviness in your field, anxiety about money, stability, or relationships. Spirit's urgent message is, this is a test of faith, not a punishment. The danger here is in allowing scarcity mindset to take over, because that keeps you locked in cycles of fear. Spirit is saying, don't give more power to the illusion of lack than it deserves. Psychologically, this card reflects a deep fear of being abandoned or overlooked. Spirit warns, if you tie your sense of worth to how others treat you, you'll keep reliving this cycle. Spirit's urgent call here is, stop defining yourself by what others give or withhold. You are not forgotten, and you are not alone. Spirit is closer than you realize. Practically, the Five of Pentacles urges you to seek support rather than isolate. Spirit says, don't carry burdens silently. Whether financial or emotional, solutions exist when you ask for help, when you open yourself to community, and when you allow Spirit to guide you to new opportunities. The urgent warning here is, don't stay in survival mode longer than you need to. The third card is the Tower. Libra, Spirit is saying something in your life is about to dramatically shift or has already begun crumbling. Emotionally, this card is shocking. Disruption, sudden change, or the collapse of something you thought was secure. Spirit's urgent message is, this is not destruction meant to harm you, but a clearing to remove what could not stand. Energetically, the Tower shakes the foundation of your reality. Spirit's warning here is, if you keep clinging to false security, Spirit will remove it for you. This can feel harsh, but it is Spirit's way of liberating you from what is unstable or untrue. The Tower is a divine reset, tearing down what blocks your growth so you can rebuild on solid ground. Psychologically, this card represents fear of change and resistance to endings. Spirit says, the more you resist, the more chaotic this feels. The urgent message here is, surrender to what's falling apart instead of trying to glue it back together. Spirit is saying, sometimes collapse is the only way to break free from illusions. Practically, the Tower tells you to prepare for tangible shifts, whether in career, relationships, or even living situations. Spirit's urgent message here is, don't fear the unknown. This upheaval will force you into alignment with your truth. It is painful in the moment, but necessary for your long-term stability. The fourth card is the Nine of Swords. Libra, Spirit is calling your attention to the mental weight you've been carrying. Emotionally, this card shows sleepless nights, anxiety, or fears looping in your mind. Spirit's warning is, your thoughts are magnifying the situation beyond its true size. Worry is draining your life force. Energetically, the Nine of Swords reveals an overactive mental field. Spirit says your energy is scattered in future fears and past regrets, leaving little for the present. The urgent message is, stop letting your mind run unchecked. Spirit is asking you to ground yourself, breathe, and separate imagined fears from actual reality. Psychologically, this card points to guilt, shame, or unresolved trauma resurfacing. Spirit says, you've been punishing yourself for things that are not yours to carry anymore. The urgent call here is, release the mental prison. Your worth is not defined by past mistakes, and you are not condemned to repeat cycles of pain. Practically, the Nine of Swords asks you to change how you care for yourself. Spirit says, don't face these fears alone. Talk them out, write them out, move them out of your body. The urgent message is, take practical steps to quiet your mind, whether through grounding rituals, spiritual practices, or seeking support. The final card is Judgment. Libra, Spirit ends your reading with a call to awakening. Emotionally, this card shows liberation, the moment you finally see things clearly and release what no longer serves. Spirit's urgent message is, this is your moment of truth. You cannot keep living halfway awake. Energetically, Judgment represents karmic release. Spirit is saying, old cycles are ending, and you are being called to rise into your higher self. The urgent warning is, don't ignore this call. The longer you resist, the heavier it feels. Spirit says, your soul has been waiting for this moment of renewal. Psychologically, this card asks you to forgive yourself and others. Spirit says, the guilt, resentment, and shame you've carried have reached their limit. Judgment is the card of rebirth. Spirit's urgent message is, choose freedom over fear. Practically, Judgment signals a new chapter, life decisions, new directions, and second chances. Spirit says, don't hesitate when the opportunity to choose differently arrives. This is your chance to align with your true path and finally close the door on what has been weighing you down. Libra, Spirit's urgent message is this. Open your eyes to hidden truths, release scarcity, accept the collapse of what cannot stand, free yourself from mental prisons, and awaken into your rebirth. These cards, Seven of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Tower, Nine of Swords, and Judgment, together say that Spirit is guiding you through endings into a powerful resurrection. Affirmation for you: I release illusions, I trust Spirit's protection, and I rise into the truth of who I am meant to be.